Alright, it looks like we're into it here for another match of the Sugar-Free League. Of course, our second season. Slight delay there. Someone was... Well, the description was that their ADC lost their brain. I don't know if that's quite accurate. Hope he found it again, because he's going to kind of need that for the match tonight. But we're going to get some jungle bans to start off with. Nocturne, I haven't seen that one in a while, but... It's going to earn a ban here, and of course you got the Kha'Zix against Acid. Classic stuff, and the Jax as well. Seeing a lot of bans directed toward Acid when he is on anyone's team. He's just sort of that type of player that a lot of action happens around him. And that's going to prompt 3 bans here. 3 jungle bans at Pure Acid to start off with. And on the other side, we're going to get the Nocturne Lulu. And we'll see what the third one is here, but it definitely looks like the game plan here from BB Clocks is to shut down Acid. Based on the 3 bans so far, and that's a strategy that's worked pretty well for the teams that have played against Wasted Potential. You know, for the most part. Ezreal going to be the first pick here with an Urgot Ivern follow-up here, so Pure Acid playing a very different style than to what we're used to. Usually plays very aggressive champions in the jungle, but now we're going to get an Ivern who can be aggressive in terms of ganking, but is not a damage-focused champion whatsoever. Whereas Lucian was taken away as last ban. So we're probably going to see, I'd imagine a crit AD carry here out of Indigo, but before we get to that, we're going to get the Jarvan Swain here. So lots of bruisers for BB Clocks to start off with here. The Jarvan Swain, definitely guys that want to get in there, you know, in the face of the opponent. And Ezreal, just the standard AD carry there. If you have a very bruisery team comp, I think Ezreal can fit in well because he's so self-sufficient and can sort of pepper away, and also, you know, brings that that poke you want. Nami going to be the support pick here, so the first bot lane lock-in for Wasted Potential. Do not have their AD carry yet. So interesting to see who they pair up with the Nami. But Ivern Nami gives you a lot of healing power, so I'd assume there's probably going to be more of a hyper carry type of AD carry, and then they're probably going to pick maybe more... I'd tanky mid laner. Maybe you go back to the Galio, I'm not sure. And Relich has played a few different things, so we'll see what he goes for. But the Vladimir ban going to come in, and Vayne on the other side. Vayne, another AD carry you could pick with an Ivern Nami composition here to back her up. So probably going to continue with that AD carry ban focus here to shut down Indigo. And we're going to get a Leona ban as well. So just trying to keep themselves safe in the bottom lane.
Right.
You're going to get rid of some of the backline threat with the Vladimir and then Leona for the laning phase. And yeah, 2 AD carry bans on the other side. So BB Clocks definitely knows what they're doing here in the ban phase. They know what their goal is. They banned out the jungle, and then the response was, well, we're just going to go ahead and move toward an aggressive, carry, AD carry, someone who's really going to take over the game. And so they're, all right, well, we're going to do the Caitlyn Vayne bans. And so the response, Indigo's going to go ahead and take the Draven here. So that's, I don't know if this is the greatest pick because you're playing as an Ezreal. I feel like it's really hard to secure kills on him. But Zyra will be the support, so perhaps you can just kill a Zyra. She does not have any mobility, really no defensive capabilities whatsoever. Is annoying to play against, to be sure, but not exactly very safe once Nami and Draven at a couple levels. Very scary combo to deal with. The empowered autos on the E from the Nami can really hurt and slow you down, and then the bubbles land. It's just a real mess to trade against the Nami Draven. Especially with a squishy bottom lane like an Ezreal Zyra. Gangplank going to be the last pick for BB Clocks up in the top lane. So yeah, going with a very bruisery team comp here with this lineup. I mean, it's an interesting look. We don't really see too many team comps, at least not for a while. I mean, like Swain and Jarvan haven't been super popular recently. Gangplank as well, and Zyra. I mean, like it just feels like these champions, they're not bad champions by any means, but have not really been super popular and used quite a bit recently. On the other side, though, we get a Corki in the mid lane who's seen a little bit of resurgence after the crit rework. So Rutledge not going to play a second fiddle to Indigo here. They're both going to be carrying the damaging duties, but One thing you have to worry about here is a front line. Going against all these tanky champions on the other side, they really don't have a front line for wasted potential to protect the Corki and the Draven. The Ivern and Nami just really can't do that. The Urgot is tanky, but certainly can't tank 5 members. And based on the team composition here, he's going to have to build both resistances. You can't just stack one and just try and cheat his way out of that. It could be a tank Ivern, I suppose. That could be an option for them. Where you go, you buy Cinder Hulk, or you just rush straight to tank items and you take Aftershock and things. I've seen that. But not super popular, and let alone Ivern is just not a popular champion at all, so not a ton of data points on that, but that is an option if they want to get more of a frontline focus here. But I feel like there's better options than that, so you'd want to just play the Enchanter Ivern. Another benefit of the Ivern, of course, is the buff sharing, which is really going to help out, because Corki and Draven definitely want the red and blue buffs for themselves this game. So when you are a jungler who really you kind of have to hand over these buffs to these champions, they kind of require it. So you can cheat out getting your buffs as well. It's always a plus, but a very interesting pick from Acid. I really was not respecting that. I kind of thought he would move to a tank or just try and pick another aggressive jungler. But yeah, when you let use 3 bans against him, you kind of force him onto something he's not super comfortable on, or at least hasn't shown before. But who knows what he'll do on this one. Of course, there's lots of ganking potential early. Ivern is a pretty good ganker in the early stages. Both counter ganks and initiating ganks himself. But we got a few interesting champions here that we have not seen in a while. Swain was so popular for a long time when AD carries were basically non-existent, and now he kind of just fell off the face of the game. No one really was playing him because he got outclassed in bottom lane once again, and in mid lane he's a decent champion, but there were better options at the time. But Swain certainly can do good in certain matchups, and I think with the team comp they've drafted here, Swain and Jarvan engaging onto you, both their ults come down. It's really difficult to get away from. So I really like BB Clock's composition here. I do worry about their bottom lane though. Ezreal Zyra seems very squishy and could easily turn pretty bad for them. A couple more seconds, then we're going to start to load in. And then we'll get underway here. Oh, there we go. Oh, things are starting to load in here. All right. No hiccups so far. Is the electrocute on Swain here? So not the phase rush. Different look, maybe a bit more laning presence here. And for the Ivern, it was Guardian, so could indicate a bit more tanky of an Ivern build as opposed to the Aerie, or seen a few people take the Glacial Augment as well. So keep that in mind as we go forward. Other than that, the Keystones are pretty standard. Comment on Zyra, a little bit more aggressive. For her, she's going to be very squishy, though. Very, very concerned for her. I'd assume they thereby also took some more armor in the runes, maybe. But early on, the Santa Draven, like to see that. But the Draven and the Nami will really, really hurt. it's going to be incredibly difficult for Deep Focus and thereby also to stay safe in that bottom lane, especially if Acid takes a trip down there. I'm not so much worried about Deep Focus on the Ezreal. I think Zyra is going to be the target for most of the all-ins, but they could come in, early on, as early as level 2, even level 1. But level 2, level 3 is when the all-in really becomes potent. When Nami has multiple CC spells, as well as, the Draven getting his speed up there with the Blood Rush, being able to chase you down and continuously auto you. Good. Especially if he's early on, he'll still have that full mana bar. He'll be able to just constantly spam the Blood Rush and get the movement speed to just chase you down, and really no one can outrun him then. At that stage in the game, you just gotta blow the flash.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
A little bit of a stack here in the top tri-brush, but looks like no one going to be invading here. Evan Johnson still going for the Klepto on the GP. Of course, that was the most common choice early on in last season, but this shift has sort of come into grasp recently because of the changes to Kleptomancy. It's not as good anymore, and the grasp gives you much better laning prowess. You can stand up to some of these champions like Urgot and actually trade pretty good with them with grasp. Not so much trading, you just hit them, you just shoot them a bunch. You shoot them a bunch and proc grasp. And you don't really have to trade much with them. You just keep defensive barrels and you shoot them a bunch with your gun. As we see Licenseless Rider skilled up that never move first. Always a little bit of debate between the skill order there with Swain. And when he was super popular, there were a couple different options. As you see, Indigo and Endril definitely getting the push early on. Playing very safe on the other side with Deep Focus in thereby also. Ivern has gone for what looks to be a blue buff. Well, actually, I think he's... let's go for blue buff as we get a gank here in the bottom lane. King not going to quite find it here. Indigo still going to trade back. Level advantage was there, so there was no gank here. Start off with. And now potential all-in. Indigo going forward. The heal comes through. Well, last axe. We'll get the first blood here. Indigo's in trouble, though. Flashes away. A few more thorns hit. A couple of minis as well. King going to go forward. The flash will get the kill thereby also picking that one up. Endril going to get rooted, and now he should go down too. A double kill there for thereby also. Still, the first blood comes through, and that could be used to leverage a bigger advantage on on Indigo. But Summoner Spell is pretty much all of them down in the bottom lane here. As Ivern made a trip to mid lane in the process, up quite a bit of CS now, has taken his entire bottom side and the crab as well. As Rutledge gets pulled again, and now he might just be in trouble. No phase rush from Licenseless Rider. He's continuing to auto forward though. No shoot, get him that damage, but no follow-up potential without the phase rush. Cole going to be purchased for both AD carries. Actually, very surprised to see that. You'd think the Draven would go for 2 long swords instead of getting a Cull and boots. That is, I mean, especially because you can go for just Bloodthirster first with the 2 long swords, but I guess in Ezreal lane, maybe you're expecting to farm it out a bit more. Can definitely understand that line of reasoning as well. Evan Johnson already out of those Corrupting Potion charges. Mana so tight on Gangplank early on. And Indigo going forward again with another good trade. Deep Focus is actually in a pretty bad spot here in terms of experience. Once his wave pushes back into him, he'll be okay, but still not great to be behind in XP here. Pure Acid looking for this crab, but King is here. He's going to get the knock up here onto Pure Acid. The shield comes through the slow as well. And now Acid will get the crab, but most likely will not get out. Yep, the auto is there. King going to get it. The Vision of Empire came through to just cut off that escape route from Pure Acid, and it was a little bit too greedy with trying to get that crab there. Top lane again, pretty even. Ivan Johnson is actually a pretty good CS lead right now, but that should change once that wave pushes back. But he's still, you know, in a decent spot for a gangplank at this stage in the game. Definitely like that position for him. Both champions, though, really thrive later in the game. Urgot's certainly not a slouch when it comes to laning, but really shows, I think, his strengths later in the game in those, you know, team fights and skirmishes. That's when he really shines. And Gangplank on the other side, he can split push or team fight, but he really needs those levels and those items to make him, you know, the true terror he is in the late game. Was an Infernal Drake for the first spawn. A few control wards scattered around there in the jungle and in the river, but no one making a move towards that yet. Don't have a great dragon taking jungler on either side. Both are very mediocre at it. Licensed Rider with another good pull there on the never move. Ledge is okay for now. Went for the Dark Seal, actually. Early on, going to set his Triforce back a little bit, but he's okay with that. Trying to stay competitive in this lane. Did not go for the TP, actually went for the barrier. We're going to gank here. Indigo charging for these autos. Pure Acid already landed the root, and that should spell doom. Indigo gets the kill on Deep Focus. The second one in this game. King's coming in here for a counter gank, but just going to knock them up to keep them from getting onto there by also and picking up a second kill. Good gank from Pure Acid there. Looks like Deep Focus wanted to get a ward in case there was a gank, but Pure Acid already there and just lets him walk into his own doom there. Pure Acid with a bit of a rough play in the river to start off with, but comes back with a good gank. Making this lane work. A second kill for the Draven. A second cash in. It's Regen Pride with a good auto there to blow up that cast. Does not get it the second time. Now Ivan Johnson gets pulled back. In a little bit of trouble. This trade is not going his way. Has those Corrupting Potion charges though. Now the execute might just come through. Regen Pride is here. The oranges are there though. Ivan Johnson going to be able to get away. It looks like the ult is used from Regen Pride. So good use of the cleanser. I thought for a moment that Ivan Johnson had already used the oranges. I was getting worried for him because he held it for a heck of a long time, but he ends up being okay. Able to cleanse that at the last second there. One of the big benefits to laning against an Urgot as a GP, being able to cleanse that ultimate. Pure Acid now, Summon Daisy and Regen Pride rotating down. It looks like they'll let King go on his merry way, but forcing him back for now. Again, the Infernal Drake's still up there, and those control wards in the river for both sides. Tier purchase for the Ezreal, but you got a BF sword on the other side on that Draven, and you definitely know who has the priority in this lane as Indigos goes forward. Shift is there to get away, and the root from thereby also actually gets quite a bit of damage back on Indigo with those pesky plants. Draven definitely does not have a green thumb. Don't think he likes nature much. As now that control word is going to finally get cleared on the river. They knew about it for a while, but had not had a chance to clear that yet, so the time is now for BB clocks. And actually, the mage had just been to set up the dragon here. Looks like King has started up the Infernal. Pure Acid is walking down, though. The package is available for Corki. Arledge could make a big play with that. Acid and King are both level 6. Smite is here for both of them. And looks like Smite will go over to King. Pure Acid now in trouble. The Cataclysm's going through, but Pure Acid will flash away. Indigo flash to follow. Rutledge ends up getting the kill. Licenseless Rider here. Indigo should probably go down, but Rutledge maybe has a chance to get out here. He's able to get the Valkyrie back up. Continuing to auto on defocus. In the meantime, the X-Suit comes through. Regen Pride finds a solo kill on Ivan Johnson. Used the oranges that time, and unfortunately goes down for it. That's what I was afraid of. Sometimes you forget you need those oranges. As Rutledge trying to make his way out. He should be okay. Nami is coming around on the backside, so Endra will be able to help him out. Rutledge actually turning this one back around on a Licenseless Rider, and he's being slowed up by these autos. Pure Acid going to flash over. As Rutledge continues to flash, he's still going on a Licenseless Rider, misses that rocket, but he just needs a few more autos to find the kill. Yep, that will do it. And now the True Shot Barrage, thereby also with a good setup, and Deep Focus dunks that one. Little alley-oop for him here. Now Pure Acid in trouble running away. The TP comes in from Regen Pride. He cannot cancel that, so he's going to be trapped. Pure Acid with a shield as he takes the turret shots, but now it looks like he's going to die. King going to get that kill, and a little BM on the way out. Regen Pride, well, he's taking some damage here. Deep Focus with the red buff. Arcane Shift over. It looks like Regen Pride will be okay. Nami is here to help out. Endril there, always the buddy, but a little bit of a not exactly the right route to take out of that one, I think. Going through both turrets, and then King was there to make sure there was no escape route for the Ivern. Ivern actually went for the GP, or excuse me, for the Futures Market. I always think of GP and Futures Market because of how long GP went for the Inspiration route, which Evan Johnson has done. I like to take it personally. It was always fun to go into a little bit of debt. Felt like the United States of America for a little bit, so. Power tripped. As thereby also going to try and clear these minions while his AD carry makes his way back to the lane. First plating still up. Indigo trying to get the last one there, as Defocus has the red buff, but certainly does not have the damage, I think. Owen Johnson now in trouble in the river again. Pure Acid and King are here, so it's going to be a 2v2. Regen Pride has ultimate, and looks like the Fear Beyond Death will come through. Down he goes. Regen Pride with the second kill of the game. Second kill with his ultimate. Will be the redemption here first for the Ivern. Now Pure Acid maybe looking for a second gank. Finds the route here on Oven Johnson. Well, the Cannon Barrage comes down, but that's not going to help him one bit as Regen Pride picks up a third kill in the game. And now with Daisy, they might be able to actually chip away at some of these plates and maybe even get that turret in the top lane. No one here to stop this. TP not available for Oven Johnson. He's already 15 seconds off, so no one will be here to help. And looks like that turret will go down as more trading in the bottom lane comes through. Yep, this turret should fall. Interesting to see if Acid splits the gold as an Ivern. Looks like he will. Actually, rather close. With an extra armor, well, not that close, as the second wave comes in to reinforce, but I thought that would go down much faster, but that extra armor from the plating really slows you down. Now a gank from King in the mid lane. Rutledge with a good Valkyrie away, though. Rift Herald is here for King if they want to make a play mid lane in response. They know Pure Acid and Regen Pride are in base, so they could make a play here, but looks like Licenseless Rider is going to back. And King going to make his way back to the jungle. Pure Acid pinging, he wants that Rift Scuttler. He's just died for it already, so he seems to have those on his mind. He's stuck a few patches ago, I think. About half a year ago. When everyone would die for them and call it worth. Still in that mindset here as a couple more camps are stolen away. Once you lose control of this top lane, you also lose control of the jungle, but Rutledge is now in trouble. Oh, the Cataclysm comes through and down he goes. Andrel's here for the rotation, as well as Regen Pride and Pure Acid. The Thorns are going to come through, and a second kill here for King. Regen Pride is trying to make something happen, does not have ultimate available. Here comes the Fear Beyond Death. Will fear two members. Thereby also, he's squishy, still no HP. Indigo coming in the rotation, one axe and a kill. A shutdown there onto thereby also. Now Licenseless Rider with the explosion on the ultimate, but gets pulled back by Regen Pride, who's got the Ignite ticking on him. Indigo, though, with a 2-level lead on his opponent, on the opponent AD carry, much more powerful in these fights, and was able to rotate first as well. Didn't start out super great, but Waste Potential ends it very well. Ooh, good combo from Elvin Johnson. He knows how to work those barrels. And now the turn on to the Mountain Drake. Elvin Johnson here to contest, but the root does land for Pure Acid. Oh, Rutledge is here with a package. Elvin Johnson can be able to flash away, but Rutledge with the follow. Another auto. The Cannon Barrage comes through. The wave from Nami will find Deep Focus. No, he's going to flash to dodge that one. Spoke too soon, but another big cooldown taken down, and this should be the dragon here, unless a big steal comes through. King might make it happen. He's summoning the Rift Herald right now. We'll get the summon off. Regen Pride trying to interrupt that, but was not able to. Dragon will go over the smite here for Acid. No chance to steal this time. Regen Pride now sitting at 5-0 with an integral shutdown. Wasted potential looking very good, but they've got to stop this Rift Herald, which takes a big chunk out of that mid lane turret. No follow-up damage though, and this should be cleared rather easily. Did not wait for their AD carry to come push this with them. I guess they really didn't have a way to stop the Rift Herald. They can't exactly control the thing, so had to go with it. Will be Infinity Edge here first for Indigo. Did not go for the Bloodthirster. Has the Vamp Scepter though. Bought that for the lane, but decided to complete the Infinity Edge for the bigger damage. Of course, you got that. You got that Frozen Gauntlet. Deep Focus is very much afraid. Still a level down on Indigo. Triforce has been delayed quite a bit here for Rutledge, who picked up the Darksteel and the penetration boots there. So, not rushing to it, just gonna take it as it comes and make sure he's got those key items and help out with the lane. Sort of the conundrum here is like, where do you put everyone? Corki without TP doesn't really want to go to a sideline, I think, but Indigo and Endril don't really want to go either. They still have the turret up in the bottom lane. They're trying to get that down. Oven Johnson's been sent to delay that, so just kind of an awkward stage in the game where not everyone's sure exactly where the assignments are really supposed to be here as Corki continues to clear in the mid lane. But they've just kind of put Deep Focus here in the top lane. Maybe Clocks want to get him at least in an okay spot, but Regen Pride here, certainly not someone he can lane against easily. Should be able to CS okay with the Mystic Shots, but now bottom lane is in trouble here. Looks like there's going to be a dive. Daisy summoned by Pure Acid. The turn comes on the turret as Indigo goes ahead and throws some autos into that. The Cannon Barrage used to try and buy some time. We'll take out the minions and Daisy. Visions of Empire comes through as well. Looks like maybe a collapse, but no. Will not find the angle. Still 3 were committed. King going for a gank in the mid lane. Rutledge going to be forced to flash out of that Cataclysm. Use the Valkyrie too early. Regen Pride, though, has been hitting this turret in the top lane. Deep Focus completely left that lane. He knew he couldn't stay and fight that very fed Urgot, so he decided to just peace out. But now no one there to stop him. He's come back over. Root lands with Pure Acid here and on the Johnson. They may try and dive him again. Redemption here from Nami. Endril coming again, and the second root lands in the bubble as well. In the mid lane, there is a response here from BB Clock, but wasted potential. Should secure this bottom lane turret. A defensive ult here to clear the wave from the Draven. Good use of the ult by Indigo. Now Regen Pride is here. He needs a little bit more damage for the execute. Thereby also the flash away, but now the Fury on Death comes through. A Fear will land on King, but Licensed Rider flash out of it, and we'll find Rutledge as a kill. Now Regen Pride 2v1 against Licensed Rider and King. He's going to be forced to back away. So that overall, that play was pretty good for BB Clocks, but now the Indigo is still split pushing here on the Draven, and he's going to get a second turret here in the bottom lane. So in terms of kills, it was okay, but the objectives, 2 turrets for 1 doesn't seem exactly great, as the red buff's going to be stolen by Pure Acid. I think he used Smite to get that one, and I'd handed over the red buff as well to Indigo. So a good steal there. You could potentially get, 8 buffs on the map if you steal both the enemy buffs? So you could get, like a double buff for both Rutledge and Indigo, or you could get, spread those buffs around. So stealing those are actually pretty big, because now you have a red buff on Rutledge, Pure Acid, and Indigo, and then blue on Rutledge and Pure Acid. So that's a pretty big steal here to get red buff on both your 80 carries. At this stage of the game, I don't know if they actually use it at all. They may not, but who knows if there's really going to be a fight breaking out by the time those expire. Do have the Dragon in 30 seconds and the Baron in 30 as well, but we'll see if there's a fight actually breaking out or if it's just going to be given up. Ezreal does have 2 items now, but the tier is not stacked, sitting at 550 on that. Was a redemption into Athene's there for Pure Ass, and he's going for another Forbidden Idol, so probably going to be Mikhail's. TP in from Regen Pride. They're going to go for the second Inferno here. They were not able to secure the first. Smite is there. Looks like Regen Pride actually ends up securing that one. Triforce completed for both Corki and the GP. Righteous Glory used by Regen Pride. We'll call off that push though, as Oven Johnson pushing the wave top lane and back. Looks like he's going to try and reinforce the mid lane. But now that top wave is going to have to be responded to by Regen Pride or someone else. I don't know. No one's going to it. They're just going to continue to push mid lane. So they're not responding. They're going to go mid lane and try and siege here. Turret's already halfway down. The package is used across. Going to force deep focus, shift over the wall here. Relic now in trouble though. Cataclysm comes down. He's going to get the kill though when the reinforcement comes through. He doesn't need to go anywhere. He's going to go forward. And the wave does land here. Another execute onto thereby also. Lysos Rider underneath his turret. Daisy comes through, but now he's going to run right back out as he takes taking him on the turret. Just Oven Johnson and Lysos Rider left, along with this turret to try and help them out. Successful dive, though, comes through there for wasted potential. Looks like they're not going to turn on the Baron. They're just going to stay mid and try and get this turret down. The wave is actually pushing back now in the top lane. The turret turned that wave around, but it's suffered heavy damage in the process. Still, though, the top wave is pushing, and it looks like the bottom wave is pushing as well, I think. So, Wasted Potential is going to push the mid lane themselves here and take this mid lane turret down and head back out. 21.5 minutes now, 16-9 in kills, a 5,000 gold lead for Wasted Potential, but the Drake score in terms of Infernals is even, which is big in terms of effective gold value. Securing that first one was really big there for BE Clocks. Of course, they do have the Mountain as well, but those Infernals are, you know, very, very key objectives. Once you get to these sort of later stages in the game, if you have, you know, if one team had double Infernal right now, that would be very scary. Despite, you know, the gold difference. So important that it was secured early. Second item is Static Shiv here for Indigo. Interesting, not a rapid fire cannon. I think Phantom Dancer would also be really good. The new and improved Phantom Dancer, but going back for the wave clear here. A little bit more burst, I suppose, as well. As Rutledge gonna get that blue buff. I think he took the red as well. I don't know if Indigo got his red. Or maybe the old red is timing out. Don't know. They've had a lot of buffs this game. Oven Johnson now in a 1v1 against Regen Pride, but the gank is here from King to try and help out. Cataclysm comes down. Oven Johnson in trouble. The execute. Yep, Fear Beyond Death. Regen Pride with the... Oh no! The orange has come through. The flash away from Oven Johnson, though. He's still very low. The Baron has been started up in the meantime. About half health. Regen Pride will go down to King, but he's nowhere near to try and steal with the smite. Actually, Regen turning this one around. In the meantime, though, the fight has been going for... Actually, Regen Pride will get the kill onto King in the side lane. The 2v1 now, and the Baron will go down in favor of Wasted Potential. Lysos Rider trying to run away. The autos come through. Indigo not going to be finding the last kill, but now Defocus and Lysos Rider are in big trouble. The flash follow from Indigo. Another axe will do it. Continue to follow with that Blood Rush. Wow, that was a very big auto. He needs just one more. Will not find it, though. A flash away from Deep Focus. Indigo is tanking this turret, and he will go down. Deep Focus with a good kiting. A little bit overzealous there, and down he will go. Regen Pride, though, with a 2v1 in the bottom lane. Even with that cleanse from the GP. If that had actually gone through, it would have been like a true 2v1 where he got both kills. This time he just absorbs the gank and is able to get the kill back onto a King as it is. Still, very big plays from him there in the bottom lane. Obviously, it'd still be worth if the Baron went over and he died. Like, it'd still be fine. But the fact that he survived and they got Baron is like... Ugh, I mean, that's really rough. The gold lead has now increased here to over 7k here, 7.7 roughly. And nope, Ardent Sensor going to be the choice here for Pure Acid. Not going to go for the Mikhails. I thought he might go for the Mikhails because you got a Zyra root, you got a Swain root. But going to go for the Ardent Sensor. He does have 280 carries. That makes a lot of sense. I was just confused because I feel like if you're going to get Ardent Sensor, you'd get it earlier. Hey, I don't know. I don't know Ivern builds, man. I don't know. Going to be the Cloud Drake taken now. Oh, actually, Endril walked a little bit too far forward. The package comes through, though, and Rutledge may be able to turn this one around with the help of Indigo. Rutledge finds one kill. Endril able to dodge out the True Shot Barrage, so he'll get away okay. Completely debated there. Endril had it all planned out. Oven Johnson able to pop a barrel and get away. Second tier here for Deep Focus. A little surprising. You feel like you might want to just buy more, AD right now. Just because he needs effectiveness right now to actually fight with. But he did invest in the penetration boots, so you actually do have to get some AP to get value out of those. So I guess it's fair enough. It's just that he's investing in scaling right now, and the time is now to fight if they actually want to stay in this game. And that's the one concern, but if they do survive this, he'll actually be in a really good spot. Once that second tier is finished, get some, items, like the Gunblade as well. He'll be very strong. The question is if they'll survive to that point, though. Wasted Potential is knocking on the door here. At 26 minutes, they've got Baron buff. We got pressure in 2 lanes here. Top will be pushing eventually. Here's Indigo. Whoa, finds quite a few autos there on Evan Johnson. Oh, the interrupt from Indigo. Great stand aside to interrupt that flag and drag from King. That could have been a kill onto him, but denying that is huge. Now they can continue to siege in the mid lane here as Daisy's going to be summoned to help out. Looks like she'll be sent into the turret to tank it. And that, well, they'll make short work of it with Daisy. The inhibitor in the bottom lane now under fire. And I'll pull in. Regen Pride completely deletes there by also King. Trying to make something happen. Regen Pride 2 tanking the backline. Redemption comes through, and now the Execute Fear Beyond Death onto Lightless Rider. King gonna use the Zonies to buy some time, but he'll fall as well. Triple kill now for Regen Pride. That's 12 in the game. Indigo came from the mid lane to help out along with Endril, and this should spell the end of game 1 here. As Indigo will not quite get that kill onto Oven Johnson, but Nexus turrets. Well, one already down. The second one now soon to follow. Deep Focus and Oven Johnson trying to do some stuff. Poke with the barrels and some Mystic shots, but that'll be it. Game 1, I'm going to go over here to Waste the Potential. It was pretty even for the first couple minutes, and then got blown open there. And, well, Regen Pride with a fantastic Game 1 here. 12 kills he ended the game with, no deaths. Had a 1,000 gold shutdown sitting on him, but with some fantastic plays throughout that game. He got himself into a really great situation. Was able to 2v1 in the bottom lane during the Baron take, and once they got nothing back for the Baron, it went downhill from there, and the game was closed out in a pretty, expeditious manner there. 27 minutes and 39 seconds was the final game time here, and gonna check with the players here and see if we're gonna take a break in between games. And once they get back to me, I'll let you guys know. We'll see what's happening. Well, the response was an invite to the lobby, so I assume that means we're going to go right into the second game. I can only assume that's what that means. Alright. Well, not everyone's in here yet, but hopefully they'll join soon. Looks like we will be switching sides here for game 2. So I gotta switch those labels up. Alright. Good to go here. Everyone's just about ready here. We're just waiting on a few other people to join the lobby, and then we should be good to go. Getting into game 2 pretty quick. Waste of potential. Takes game 1. Looked very, very good. Regen Pride with a pretty good performance there in game 1. Acid, well, considering he was playing Ivern, I think he did pretty well. Not exactly what you typically expect from him, but when you ban 3 champions, I guess in the first rotation, he's got to do that. He's got to pick something crazy. I think Ivern's still the least played champion in League of Legends here. Indigo as well. I mean, you can't count on Indigo, Endril. The bottom side of the map was just as good. Rutledge, like... I was worried a little bit about their team composition, but when you just stomp them that hard in the mid game, you don't really need to worry about that. The composition problems you'll have in the late game. Because it wasn't even just like, oh, it was a one-man carry here, pure acid popped off or regen popped. It was just like everyone was pretty ahead, and it wasn't even that like there was a huge play at the beginning of the game which set them ahead, and they won off that. It was like they were actually pretty even for a while. Like in the bot lane, it was actually a 1-for-2 trade with a gank from King that started off. Indigo got a kill, but then there was a double kill. I guess they did go onto thereby also, so that is fair to note that the kills weren't onto the AD carry, the jungler, but I'd say still pretty even. And then the mid game fights went super well. A second kill in the bottom lane on the Draven. And then, the game got sort of taken away. The Corki was even just sort of ramping up. And then it was like everyone was ready to go, and they just kind of won the team fights after that. And Regen won the side lane. Looks like everyone's running up. We're just about to hop into the champ select, it looks like. And here we go. Okay. I like that. Right into it. Nate was complaining about everyone being slow and getting into lobbies here and yesterday, but I got no complaints. It was pretty fast. Gonna get a Lulu ban here to start off, and looks like pretty similar things compared to game 1. I don't know if they'll go for the 3 bans on pure acid. BB clocks, I don't know if they're going to go that heavy in terms of focusing on the enemy jungler again, but they're starting off with a similar setup here. The Jax, Kha'Zix ban, and the Vladimir Lulu on the other side. Vladimir, I believe, was banned in the second phase last time, but Lulu was banned in the first, and Ivern is going to join the bans here, so interesting that they're going to ban that away here in game 2. Lucian going to be the first pick because that has slipped through, and Jin Zhao on the other side. So yeah, 3 bans levied at pure acid, and Lucian going to be picked up as a result because they were on the red side last game. Waste Potential had to ban the Lucian, but now they don't have to because they have the first pick. And looks like BB Clock's still convinced they need to ban 3 junglers. And so that's their strategy. They're going to stick with it. And that frees up the Lucian. The response, though, is the Caitlyn here, which significantly outranges the Lucian. And if you combine that with a Braum or a Nami, like a defensive, something that can be defensive. I mean, there's many tacks you could take here. It could even go for a Morgana or something alongside the Caitlyn. But I think locking your bottom lane right now is the thing I would do. Personally, because I think securing that is most important. It will be the Morgana, the classic combo. Alongside this Caitlyn. Very tough to deal with. Also sort of stumps your all-in potential. You know, if you do go for a Braum on the other side to try and combo with a Lucian. Or a Thresh, or anything aggressive, even Pike, you know, the Morgana Caitlyn can outrange you and stop your engages with a Morgana Black Shield. Which you don't like to see at all, you know, based on what they wanted to go for here with the Lucian first pick. Will be a Nami follow-up with a Nocturne here for pure acid. Pretty sure, yeah, I believe they banned that in the first game here, so... We're going to go with a Nocturne. Again, a pick we haven't seen in a long time. But they're going to break it out here. A couple unusual jungle picks. The Ivor on the Nocturne. Stuff we haven't seen. But Licensed Rider going to follow up with the Swain. Feels like we are... I don't know. Like this, these team comps feel like they're like kind of shifted back in time a little bit to me. As Urgot will also get banned on the second phase. You're going to keep that away from Regen Pride, which I'm a little surprised they didn't pick it up, to be honest. Waste of potential, I feel like, after the performance in Game 1, and just the fact that Urgot's a really freaking good champion, I feel like you'd want to pick that up in the first rotation after securing your Lucian. But no, I'm not going to go for it here. Going to prioritize the bottom and jungle positions. Obviously, you want to get acid on something in the first rotation generally, because they'll probably ban even more stuff here. But Kennen going to also be banned. Tough champion to deal with in the top lane. And, well, Renekton going to join as well. So, jungle and top bans have been the priority here for BB Clocks. They have focused on one position in all their ban phases. Like, the first rotation are we're banning 3 junglers. Second rotation are we're banning 2 top laners. We're just banning out a position specifically. They're not just spreading it around to ban out, you know, good champions overall. They're targeting stuff. Will be a Vi jungle. Okay. I didn't see this coming, but I'm super excited to see Vi jungle. That's a really cool champion. Really fun to play and fun to watch. But again, another champion. I don't like just have like that's just not played, to be honest with you. No one really plays Vi, but we're gonna get it. And Yorick. Okay, Yorick for Regen Pride. Another champion that's not played, but cool to see. So it was pretty standard up till now. The first couple picks were like, all right, that's pretty normal. I haven't seen that one in a while, but it's like, you know, it's picked. It was just like Yorick Vi now. I don't know what we're gonna get next. Probably Rammus. Like, I don't know. Play like Rammus mid. I don't know what's gonna happen. As we're gonna get a Galio here, so we're back to old normal stuff. A little bit of a changed Galio, but still, hey, still pretty good. Not a you know, a shell of his former self. I think everyone can agree Galio was better in the past. And now it looks like we're going to get a Maokai for Oven Johnson. Which I feel like makes sense, fits in the team comp a lot. Aatrox actually going to be the final decision here to go up against the Yorick. I thought the plan here was just going to be like, alright, they're going to win the split push. We are going to give that up. And we're going to play a team fight style here. Based on the fact that they picked Vi, Swain, Caitlyn, that tells me they've got engaged and they've got a lot of damage from their AD carry. Like, I feel like they want a team fight. But the option is going to be to say, all right, we're going to play an Aatrox, which can team fight, no doubt, but not a tank. You don't really have a true tank here in the front line. And instead, they're going to fight the side lane a bit more. If Oven Johnson can win the side lane and be competitive there, against Regen Pride and keep him from getting his items, well, A, his items quickly, and also, you know, B, getting a split push started. That can delay the team. Because when you pick a Yorick Galio with a Nocturne, this definitely says we want to split the map here. You know, like, you can't send anyone to the sideline because we'll just send the Nocturne there and we'll kill you alongside that Yorick or Galio. And then Galio also has a global to get around. All right, so you want to collapse out our mid lane? All right, well, Galio's going to join them. And Yorick's got TP if you really need to, or you can just keep splitting. So I definitely like the thought process here. And on the other side, though, Licensed Rider Oven Johnson going to take the double TP here. So wasted potential has definitely gone for a tough to execute strategy, I think. The split push style, the 1-3-1 is very difficult to execute here. And if you're not on top of things, you can lose the strength of that composition very quickly, especially if you fall behind early. That's another thing that you have to keep in mind. If you fall behind early on this composition, you're just going to lose. Unless something abnormal happens. You have to have at least parity on the map or map control to make it really work. But when you do have that and you have the macro, it's so tough to defend. It's so tough. But if a big advantage is opened up, this is not the composition I think that's going to be designed to come back. Not a ton of wave clear, and just overall, this split push style does not work well when you are not at least at the middle of the map. But BB clocks on the other side here. Not as difficult to execute as a team comp here, but the macro is still going to be incredibly important because you are playing against a team, a composition that's very focused on the macro game. So both sides are going to have to, whip out their brains here. I hope whatever AD carry lost their brain found it once again, because if it wasn't important in game 1, it's certainly going to be important in game 2. Here, the Caitlyn Morgana lane, though, going to be very, very powerful. You see the Nami also took the barrier. So no Ignite available for Lucian Nami, but they weren't expecting him to kill anyway. Really the focus is here for both lanes to just farm it out. Caitlyn Morgana has a much more important job, though, of pushing this turn and getting damage done early. Lucian and Nami are just kind of holding out until the mid-game where they can fight and set up that split push. So either skirmishing around objectives or just setting up a split push and being the anchor in the mid lane. But yeah, the Caitlyn Morgana, you have the opportunity to, but you've got to make something happen with this advantage in the bottom lane. If you don't, the Caitlyn will be so much less powerful than Lucian, come 15-20 minutes. She'll obviously outscale him, but the problem is, with this composition, you're not going to be given a time to outscale if they do get ahead here. Yorick is not a champion that sits back and waits for the game to come to him. He's going to split push and hit as many turns as he can. And that's sort of the message to all these champions have. Nocturne, he wants to go in and do stuff and fight. It's just not, they are not going to sit back with these guys. So I'd expect a lot of action here from Wasted Potential early on. And on the other side, well, they got to push that bottom lane. Maybe Vi will get some ganks down as well. A champion that ganks pretty good come level 3 and at level 6. Those are really the big spikes. Obviously, like most junglers, when she gets all her spells, it's easier to gank. But you don't want to skill Q until level 3 because it ruins your clear pretty drastically. Having played a little bit of Vi and watched a few players of it, it ruins your clear. So if you're going to go for a level 2 cheese with Vi off of red buff, you have to make it work. Otherwise, you're going to be put so far behind in the jungle, skilling up Q, you're really in a tough spot. I know you want to punch stuff. I know that's the whole champion, but you got to restrain yourself just a little bit so you can actually get the camps down. Kill those camps. Channel your anger into killing those instead. But yeah, obviously level 6 mark, huge for her as well, her ultimate, huge. The point and click hard CC is never a bad thing. And it's a super powerful ultimate. Can also hit and, CC people in the way. Going to be the electrocute here from Vi.
30 seconds until minions.
Seen some people take phase rush. A few also take aftershock. Phase rush has been, after the nerfs to electrocute, phase rush was the replacement for the electrocute. It provides a bit more opportunity to chase down people when you gank, as well as more maneuverability in the fights. And gives you more opportunity. It's sort of like Phase Rush and Electrocute are things where you will secure kills that you wouldn't otherwise with Phase Rush. And you will secure kills that you wouldn't otherwise with Electrocute. It's just that there are situations, they're better in certain situations than each other, There's actually Kleptomancy taken from Licensed Rider, so he's already got a little bit of damage there. The binding going to miss this time, though. Rutledge wise to it, especially after he saw Licensed Rider in the bush. He was probably worried about that. But a good dodge so far. Especially against a melee champion, it makes a lot of sense to go Kleptomancy, I think, for the Swain. Assuming you're able to continuously auto him. Got to be on top of that, though, and really use that keystone to your advantage. Here's a red buff to Krug's route for both junglers. To start things off. I was interested to see how this top lane matchup goes. Yorick, a champion, always good to see because you just don't see him that often. And it's a shame, more people don't play it. It's like Ivern and like Mordekaiser. Champions you just don't get to see very often. In competitive and solo queue. And it's a shame that not every champion gets the same love. Same thing with Vi. I mean, I've talked about her, but she also falls in the same category a little bit. Some people, more play than others. Like more played than Ivern and Yorick, I think, but still not played very often. So good to see her. As you would predict, the Gallios can struggle in this matchup a little bit. But he's actually doing very well right now as we get a little bit of a fight in the jungle here. Level 3 for both junglers, but King has started off his matchup really well here. There's a huge health advantage. Rutledge is coming to help out. Swain also rotating down, but he's a little late. We'll be okay, though. King will not secure the kill. Acid will get away, but did blow the flash in the meantime. Acid trying to get back on his buff. Rutledge with the flash forward finds a taunt, but blue buff has already gone over. Acid now uses spell shield. He's on a sliver of health. Regen Pride's coming down as well. King actually will get away. The Winds of War will not find him as he's able to dash out at the last second. Your Licensed Rider now caught in the trap. Regen Pride trying to get this one. Conqueror procs. Knockout from Rutledge. And the first blood will go over Regen Pride. Now Oven Johnson is in trouble, but he's trying to turn this back onto Rutledge, and he will get it with that third Q. The execute comes through. Oven Johnson now in 1v1 versus Regen Pride. Regen Pride is down a level, but up in health. Flash away from Oven Johnson. Knew he couldn't win that one. After he'd already used the flash, after he already used his third Q, he had to flash away. Long cooldowns early for the Aatrox, so once you expend them to try and kill someone, you really don't have a lot of power after that. Especially with the Conqueror, you have way more sustained damage with the Yorick, as opposed to the Electrocute and the spell focus from Oven Johnson on the Aatrox. Really more about short, quick trades and burst of damage. Here's Indigo, very low on mana, but continue to try and play aggressively. Everyone in this lane very low on mana and health. They've been trading quite a lot here. CS even, though. Pure Acid looking for a gank here. Still level 3. He's definitely not on pace to get a quick level 6 because of all this fighting. He's way behind that mark. But the Krugs have a lot of experience. Should be able to get back on that here. Ooh, Binding does come through the trap here as well. And now Indigo's in trouble. The flash used to try and get away. The Ignite. Ooh, Endro going to save his AD carry's life. Indigo going to thank him after that one. Once that binding lands, you're going to immediately chain that into the trap from the Caitlyn. It's just such a deadly combo. One binding, that can be it. But thankfully, he still has summer spells up. And, of course, he had a little bit of help from his support. So Indigo going to be okay. Now Oven Johnson, he's going to get a little bit aggressive here. And Rutledge doing the same here. Now he's got the backup of Pure Acid. Licensed Rider with a Visions of Empire will delay a little bit. Now King coming in for the counter. Licensed Rider being chased by Pure Acid. Needs another auto. Oh no, Rutledge comes in with the final punch to the face that will secure the kill. But now King, he's going on to Rutledge. Finds the knockup. And now, oh, the taunt comes through, but not quick enough. Double kill here for King. And now the pull back on Regen Pride. He's going to be, just barely safe. The wall of ghoul. I don't know, is that those skeletons, ghouls? I don't know what that is, but the wall saves him. Good placement there. He's actually going to stick around. Oven Johnson's level 6. He could just walk underneath his turret. You might want to leave. Regen Pride certainly not off to the start he had in game 1 here. Now down 20 CS. Over 20 CS here. 24 to 47. He's having a rough time. Already used the TP as well. Both top laners did. Now the dive comes through. The bait, though, Pure Acid is here to counter, but he just might be in trouble himself. Some autos coming through. Oven Johnson, his ultimate is timing out, but Pure Acid's still in trouble. The dash forward once again, and now the pull back on those chains. Gonna find the kill on a Nocturne. Oven Johnson's gonna sleep soundly tonight. No nightmares for him. Now the Cloud Drake is the first Drake this game, not an Inferno here. As now the chain CC comes through. Deep focus, getting a lot of damage here on Indigo after that binding from thereby also. Andrew always there to help out, keeping his AD carry in a safe spot. Vamp Scepter was picked up as well for some more sustain and potions that have already been used. Rutledge does have ultimate to make a play in the side lane if need be, as Ignite as well. Pure Acid's still level 4, very far behind. King has already picked up his level 6. And of course the ultimate with it. Indigo. Once you get those empowered autos from the Nami, the double shots from Lucian, oof, they hurt, boy. They hurt a lot. Was it the Berserker he's purchased first from Deep Focus? Rutledge continue to farm up underneath his turret, but he takes a bad trade there. Went for the Merc Creds early trying to help out, but he's still getting bullied around, of course. Catalyst on the other side for Licenseless. Potential gank here from King. He's wrapping around. He's got the level 6 mark. Flash forward from thereby also, but now the counter gank from Nocturne. Bubble does land, finds a stun. Thereby also will go down. King in trouble as well. He'll be okay. It looks like the Black Shield was there to save him. But thereby also pays the price and goes down. Galio still available, but now Nocturne and Vi ultimates are down. Drag enemy started up here, though. The Cloud Drake is going to be the objective. Galio is making his way down, but Nocturne nowhere near. Pure Acid is on the top side. Rutledge may try to contest. He's got his bot lane coming down, but the smite has already gone through. The fight's going to happen, break out, though. Indigo is here. We'll find the kill onto King. Licenseless. Going to get knocked up by Rutledge. And Drill's here on the backside, but they are out of mana. So is Indigo. Rutledge continuing to go. He's got mana. Going to find a Winds of War on Deep Focus, but he'll be able to get out for now, it looks like there, but also now count in a little bit of an awkward spot. The taunt comes through. We use the binding defense, will be now knocked up again. Indigo finds the kill in there by also. They were down members, down 4-3, but they end up winning that fight and find 2 kills and lose none of their own. So a pretty good turn for them, and all this time, Pure Acid has just been farming away, so he's getting himself back into a good spot in the jungle. Still down about a camp or 2, but he's considering he was down 2 levels at one point, I think it's okay. Rift Herald spawning momentarily here. 6-4 in kills now after that fight. And a slight goal lead. He got 4,000 now. Wasted potential with the lead here. Oven Johnson going forward. He uses his own ultimate. I think it's a pretty long cooldown still. He's got about 10% CDR, but we'll give a quick look here. World Ender, about 144 seconds here, so over 2 minutes still. Does not have a ton of CDR yet. Once he gets about 40, it'll be a pretty short cooldown, but when you're sitting on only 10, it certainly is rather long. TP coming back here from Oven Johnson. Region Pride now has the TP advantage. He won't have to use it to get back to lane here, as it will push into him. I believe. Actually, it may not. It may sit neutrally. Rutledge, though, going to go and trade again in the mid lane. He's been pretty good with those taunts, and just the CC overall has been really good from Rutledge. Looking great on this Galio. Going to be the Proto Belt first from him, after, of course, those boots he picked up early on to help out with the lane. Indigo now with the completed Blade of the Ruined King. Can use the active here, also bring out the culling. A lot of damage suffered there by Deep Focus, and thereby also do not have heal, but have Flash for Deep Focus if the dive does come through, but not going to happen this time. The matchup in the top lane is still, I think, favored for Oven here. He's up just under 40 CS, as well as a kill. The gold advantage is definitely there for him. The item spikes just haven't really come through for either side. Rutledge maybe coming down for a little bit of a look-see. Has the ultimate available there, the hero's entrance. Ward's trying to be placed, but Lysis, Rider, and King both moving defensively, trying to help out. Nocturne ult is available, and he will use it immediately off cooldown. Galli ult here as well. Here's entrance coming through. The Nightmare has begun, but it may just be the wrong Nightmare here for Waste Potential as this fight being turned around at the moment. But Rutledge going to find a kill in response. Indigo as well found one. But now Endro and Rutledge trying to make their way out. Visions of Empire will find one kill. Rutledge just a sliver of health left. The flash over. Lysisla's Rider will find the kill in response here. 4-2 trade. Not exactly what they were looking for. The flash there from Deep Focus was big to get himself a little bit more room to work with. And they were able to turn that one around. Play that was definitely initiated by Waste Potential, but was ended by BB Clocks on the other side. Oven's still winning his matchup in the top lane here. That CS lead has stayed pretty consistent at 40 in these last couple of minutes.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Death's Dance was actually a first item for Evan Johnson here. Saw the pickaxe, but actually went for the Death Dance first. Did not go for the Yomu's or the Black Cleaver. Went straight for that item. A little bit more sustain. As he finds another good trade. Regent Pride is really struggling here. After game one, not exactly the game two I think you want. He set a high standard, and Oven Johnson came back and said that was just a fluke. Nocturne going to come down here. Rutledge in trouble, though. 3 members on him. Acid has slain Deep Focus, but, well, Rutledge is going to fall in response here. There were 3 members on him. And, yeah, that's a couple too many. Mid lane is a little bit exposed here. Already significantly low. This will be the first turret if it does go down, and it looks like actually they gave King solo gold. It looks like to me. I don't think Licensed Redder maybe picked it up just on the edge of the range there. Regent Pride now in trouble, maybe being dove here by Oven Johnson. He's still down a level, and level 10. Does not have that second point in the ultimate. Has a Sheen available though in the Phage, and he's maybe going to turn this one around. Summons the Maiden of the Mist. The ghouls are jumping in on Oven Johnson. He'll be able to run away for now. The ghouls, they'll re-aggro, and those are going to do a lot of damage. Flash in from Regen Pride. He gets a lot of damage, but now the World Ender is used. And we'll go their separate ways, but aggressive flash there from Regen Pride. Did not exactly get what he wanted, which was a kill. I wonder what he's going to go for second here after this Death's Dance. It's kind of surprising he went for it at all, to be honest with you. Well, not at all, but this early on. I wonder what the follow-up is here. Blade of Their Own King is actually second here for Acid. But before we talk about that, Indigo is now in trouble here. Endril is trying to help out, but there's 4 members here topside. Galio going to come in to help out, but Indigo may go down before this. Yep, there he falls. Everybody also going to get that kill. Pure Acid, though, is here for the response, and now looks like Wasted Potential just might turn this one around. Might just ride it out with the Zonias. Actually, a stopwatch there. Pull back on to Endril. Rutledge going to try and buy some room for him. Visions of Empire here, but oh, good dash out from Rutledge. Buying some time. Oven Johnson trying to come through here, but oh, Nocturnal is used by Acid. He's going to flash right back out, though. Everyone trying to buy some room for their teammates to escape. Wasted Potential trying to cover each other, and as a result, only one goes down for both sides. Thought they might turn around for a moment, but did not go great for them, to be perfectly honest. That counter started out okay, but then quickly turned sour. Interesting build here. Of course, a lot of people have been going for the Blood Razor. Well, before we talk, thereby also with the Binding will not hit Region Pride, so we'll get away. A lot of people go for the Blood Razor on Nocturne, especially with the lethal tempo. You see that, but most commonly is Warrior with the lethal tempo. But here, Acid just going for straight attack speed on this Nocturne. Like, he's going on hit attack speed Nocturne. It is not AD with some more attack speed with a lethal tempo. Which is, it's just very interesting, to be honest with you. Doubling down on that, maybe he secretly wants to be an AD carry. 18 minutes, though, the score is tied up in terms of kills at 10-10. Gold, though, slight advantage here for BB Clocks. 2,000. I think the 1v1 definitely favors Oven Johnson right now. But if he does get trapped here in one of those ghoul pits and all the ghouls are there with the main of the mist, he can definitely lose. But Pure Acid here to make this not a 1v1. Oven Johnson uses the World Ender, is able to dash over the wall. It'll buy him some time. The revive going to come through here. But he's still very low on health. The dash back to the other way, but he will fall. Angel also came in to help reinforce, but the problem is in the mid lane, you've got the Rift Herald being summoned here. And that's going to result in a lot of turrets. Rutledge and Indigo both out of position. The calling units to get rid of some minions from a long distance. But the Rift Herald still gets a charge off and may get even more. No Baron up and no Dragon. That's another 45 seconds out. And looks like they're going to abandon this push, so BB Clock's going to pull back. Regen Pride trying to get this tower, but he will not, it looks like. Will suffer some damage at least to get it. Took the Maiden of the Mist's life to do it. Didn't think he was going to stick around, but took the risk. But it was okay. I'll take some damage, get the turret. That's what I'm here for. Still is not going to Triforce. Just picked it up on that back now. So now, if you thought he was doing a lot of damage to turrets before that, he's going to do a heck of a lot more now. Like, a lot more. Zonia's is the first item for the Morgana, of course. Gonna give her a lot more effectiveness in team fights. So she won't instantly pop here. Be able to use the Black Shield on someone else and actually survive herself. Your ass going in here is able to block the binding with a Spell Shield. Flash away here, Rutledge's Beast finds a taunt though, and Morgana goes down there by also. King gonna come back here on a Pure Acid. Galliot used defensively. Double kill for Indigo on the other side. Regen Pride also trying to do something, but he's gonna go down. He's no help as everyone was trying to help out their jungler. Flash forward from Rutledge will find the taunt on Oven Johnson, who will go down. No World Ender available. Indigo continuing to chase her on a Deep Focus. Deep Focus will get away. Dragon is up. They want to go for it. It is an Ocean. Baron is up as well. 20 more minutes now. 15 to 11 in kills. Favoring Wasted Potential here as they now retaking the gold lead. 37 to 36,000. And mid lane turret going to drop here, so extend that a little bit even. Now the inner turret under fire here as the Ocean Dragon has been taken out. should be able to get away. Yep, Andrew gonna dodge on that binding. So a turret and a half and a dragon out of that kill. That fight, rather. Oh, here, okay. He was backing in the wrong bush there. Endril found out without binding him. I honestly wasn't expecting anything to happen, so I wasn't I wasn't paying attention. Endril certainly wasn't either. Binding him through. They're going to start up the Baron, but this seems super, super risky. As it is here, then Paranoia is going to come through in just a moment. Going there from Indigo. And now they're definitely going to turn off this one. King very low, thereby also very low. And it was an aggressive play. It was a good try, but now they're going to lose map control because of this. Potential counter push might come in. Indigo already making his way up to the top side of the map. Looks like everyone will get away. Yeah, no one going to die here for the clocks, but they did give up the control of the map off the back of that kill. Some turret damage as well. And sacrifice an opportunity, honestly, to get something for that kill on Endril. But we're able to save this turret in the top lane, and so they don't lose too much. More of an opportunity cost. But gotta make the aggressive plays to try and win the game. Can't just sit back off. You can't get that kill and do nothing off of it, so. At the very least, they tried here. Blue Wolf can be handed over for Rutledge. Top turret will fall here. No one actually gonna defend this. They came with like 3 or 4 members to defend the top lane turret. Then they left, and Indigo and Endril just came right back and decided to take one down. Regent Pride is actually back right now. Not in the bottom lane here to defend the push against Oven Johnson. But I guess the name of the game is the Baron control right now. Wards being placed by both sides here as Regent Pride does make its way down to the bottom lane now, but lost a lot of damage on the turret. King looking for Endril in the jungle. Will not have the opportunity, though. The teammates there to back him up. But, of course, Baron the next opportunity here. Lots of control wards. 3 invest in the river for BB Clocks. Now, waste of potential coming in to clear them. Oh, Rutledge, that's the wrong place to walk, buddy. Binding lands, though. The damage reduction from the taunt will be enough to save him there. The Shield of Duran really coming in handy. Well crafted. As Regent Pride with the ghouls is able to get the push in the bottom lane. Oven Johnson may win the 1v1, but if the ghouls are there, if the main miss is there, I don't think he does. Especially, and he also just loses the push, right? The ghouls just push the wave so fast, and he just can't clear him fast enough because he's not an auto-attack champion, really. And the ghouls are pretty resistant against those abilities. Chalice after redemption there for the Nami here, so gonna be defensive, try and get rid of the CC from the bindings there. The traps. Important to cleanse those in the middle of the fights. Now, the Paranoia comes through. Starting off the fight, Acid has found his mark. He's going to get stunned up, though. Deep focus. Will not get a kill. Guardian Angel is there, so even if he does go down, he'll be okay. The flash away. Oh, procs the Guardian Angel. He may just be in trouble now. Binding too early, though, but the trap is there. Pure Acid going to go down. Too much as, the fight's continuing here. Angel now caught on the wrong side. He flashes over into the red buff, but immediately into the arms of King. And on the other side, Indigo and Rutledge forced to run away. The Paranoia, that engage was not exactly what you wanted there. Pure Acid, a little bit too overzealous. As Rutledge will fall, Indigo survives alongside Regent Pride. But 3 members is a heavy cost to pay for nothing. And Baron will be started up. Well, this Baron take should go a little bit better. The ghouls do come in. Potential Contest here. Baron about halfway done. King's very low, though. They got to worry about that. Indigo going in, forcing the zonies out of there by also. Regen Pride still full health. Flashes in, does not find the kill on the King. The shields are there to keep him alive for now. King actually now falls. He went in and dies. The Baron is still up for grabs. 300 health. 100. Now it goes over. Baron is slain there by the Aatrox. Oven Johnson secures it for his team. But now 4 members are dead. Just Deep Focus alive. Flashes over the Baron, the red buff pit. So actually that went way better than it should have for wasted potential. That, well, I don't know what King was thinking, but he just ulted right into his death there. Still secures the Baron, but they lose 4 members, and now they might waste potential. Might be able to get this mid lane turret. You got also the potential take in the top side. Regen Pride sent his main in the mist, and now Pure Acid's pushing there as well. They're actually going to go over to the Ocean Dragon for now. There's minions in the bottom lane, so just lots of minions that have to be responded to here for BB Clocks. Pressure in 2 lanes, and top lane turret will go down. The inner and mid will fall as well. Yeah, that play just completely backfired on them there. Well, now we're going to reset once again with a few more turrets down now for the P Clocks. The gold is still relatively even, about 3,000 difference. A triple Ocean Drake, as opposed to just the 1 cloud there for BB Clocks, but there's not a huge difference, right? The effective gold on everyone, pretty similar in terms of completed items. There's really not a huge difference between them. There's not one team who significantly had. Triple Ocean's nice, but it's not going to just win you a team fight out of blue like Triple Infernal just kind of can win you bad team fights that you really shouldn't win. Triple Ocean can keep you sustained and ready for a team fight, but it certainly cannot win you them. Like an Infernal can, or just make sieges way more effective like Mountains can. So the 2 Drake lead really is not as big. 3,000 gold as well, not as big when you're at 28 minutes. And 3,000 gold isn't really as big of a percentage as it was early on in the game. So things are still relatively even here. You favor waste potential a little bit. But breaking the base is hard for a split pushing base team comp. The Yorick can start to lose value here. Now that he doesn't have a side lane to actually pressure. Few members in the jungle here. 5 strong actually. For BB Clock, just making sure there's no wards there, cleaning everything out. Don't want to leave someone alone here and have them die. Really, you don't want your AD carry, your support wandering around alone. You want to make sure they're protected at all times. You really only want your mid or top laners somewhere, and even then, you got to make sure they're not going to get collapsed on. Make sure you see the enemy on the map before you send them somewhere. Regen Pride maybe in a bit of trouble here. He's getting collapsed on. Oven Johnson and Lysis Red are here. Made a miss to someone trying to help out. The King has joined the party. Gonna find a knockup. Lysis Red are very low, but he's gonna survive for now. The Zoni's gonna keep him alive. The Galio coming in, but not before Regen Pride goes down. Rutledge trying to get something back. Has found 1 kill here onto King. Now Licensed Rider is healed up a little bit. Rutledge gonna use the Zonias. He's got some help coming from Endril, but not fast enough. Pure Acid is in the top side. He's split pushing. And you've got Indigo in the mid lane here. I don't know how effective that's going to be here. He's got some damage on the turret. Now the Paranoia comes through. Indigo trying to dive here with Pure Acid. They find 1 kill on the Deep Focus. Oh, but the Resurrection going to come through here. Pure Acid as he gets killed underneath that turret. He's in a bit of trouble here. The Visions of Empire will find him. Going to speed up to try and get out here with help from Andril. But now Andril in trouble himself. He's going to flash to get to safety. So the dive actually went really, really well, but now, oh no, on the backside, Indigo. Thought everyone was going to be safe, but used the cooling to try and get some damage on the way out. But was taken down on the way out as that binding finds its way through.
Do not have the Baron up yet. About another minute on that. 30 seconds on the Dragon. So the neutral objectives not up yet to have anyone capitalize on that while someone was dead. Everyone will be respond for them. Full crit here for Deep Focus. Got the Infinity Edge and 2 Zeal items, so pretty much all the crit he could want. Well, pretty much anyway. You can never have too much damage, but I think you're gonna see him go into that Guardian Angel now that he has the stopwatch purchased. He's got most of the damage he needs. Spear of Shojin was actually picked up for pure acid. Quite like that item on him. Seems pretty good for a Nocturne. The Cloud Drake going to be started up here, but this does mean that once they take this Cloud Drake, Wasted Potential is giving up the inside track here onto the Baron. The Baron is spawning here in just a couple more seconds, and they don't have wards on it. Paranoia used here in the mid lane. Guardian Angel is here for Oven Johnson, plus the World Ender, which has been used. The Culling get him through. Oh my god, is that 4-man bubble lands? Rutledge going to find a 3-man taunt. So we got King trying to go into the backline. Has found his way onto Indigo. He's going to flash away, but survives for now. Rutledge in the front line with pure acid, still doing a lot of damage. Now Rutledge comes back in with Regen Pride, and it looks like this will be a one fight here for Wasted Potential. A 4-man bubble, I think, from Endril, and then a follow-up from Rutledge, and the wave from Endril once again, and now they've won the team fight. And now the inhibitor's open. They might just win the game here at 33 minutes. 26-18 in kills. They're up a bit of gold. But I don't think they're thinking about that. There's still 20 seconds left on King and Deep Focus, and thereby also as well. And yeah, this should just be the end of the game here. Wasted Potential looks like they're going to take the series 2-0 here. It looked iffy in this game too. It didn't look as dominant as they did in game 1. But with that last team fight, a 4-man, I believe that was a 4-man bubble. I can't imagine. I don't know what else would knock them up. A 4-man bubble will secure the win here for Wasted Potential and give them the series victory. A 2-0, a sweep here. Just a fantastic, fantastic game from them. I'm just going to get these damage charts all set up for you here as we see the final scores going through. A 33-minute, 51-second game to close it out here. Second game of the series here. Actually, Regen Pride did most damage in the game. Surprising to see that, to be perfectly honest. But he was actually team fighting as a Yorick, which is something you don't see too often. But they made it work. An impressive victory for them. Looking very strong. And I mean, well, I can't get over that 4-man bubble. Endra with a fantastic bubble to end the game there. Just a really well executed team fight there from Wasted Potential. Sometimes you could say that maybe Pure Ass was a little bit too aggressive there with the Paranoias. They kind of backfired on him once or twice in that game, but the last aggressive play really paid off. And, well, maybe it was all just follow-up from the rest of his team, but it ended up working out in the end. And Wasted Potential, well, they take the series 2-0. And that'll do it for us tonight. We do have, of course, series tomorrow night on Saturday. Just going to pull up the schedule real quick. We got series tomorrow night on Saturday. One starts at 6, and then one starts at 10. So we've got games pretty much all afternoon into the night. If you want to see those, BB Clocks versus the Mateos will be the first one. Then Lane Zero Blizzard versus Wasted Potential. So you get to see them again at 10. First one, of course, is at 6. And then Sunday, we've got some more games as well. US Army Esports versus the Mateos at 9. And then on the second stream, we got Rats versus Paragon 5 at 8. With me. I won't be here tomorrow on Saturday, unfortunately. I won't be here, but I will be here on Sunday again. So you get to see me. But that'll do it for here. I appreciate you guys sticking around, watching the games all the way to the end. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, all as I'm Not Kios. If you just search it with any of their search functions. The address on Twitch is just twitch.tv/I'mNotKios, but the other ones are a bit more complicated because YouTube doesn't give me a custom address. But you can still search for me and find me there. Should be uploading these games as well, the games this week. So if you want to see the games, you can see those there.
believe they're also posted to the SFL channel. You can see the VODs on Twitch and stuff. But appreciate you guys watching. Acids talking trash. But what else is new, right? So we'll see you tomorrow night. Lestaya will be here, so give him some love, and I'll be back on Sunday.